Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please consider going below the video and subscribing as we work our way towards 30,000 subscribers. Now this is just going to be a very short update video. We got some official yet unofficial news that came out of AtGames earlier on today. You may have already heard about it from P-Dubs. He actually did a live stream with Steven from the Tech Buzz, and they kinda spilled the beans on this one, but I'm still gonna make a video and let you guys know my thoughts. So AtGames has officially reached out to select YouTubers with this information, and they have told us that they are going to enter into the pinball market. And that's actually pretty exciting. We've obviously had our eyes on this for quite some time. We had a pretty good indication that this is the route that they were going, and with the success of the AtGames Legends Ultimate Arcade Cabinet, it's no surprise that they are coming in strong with this new device. Now back in January, we were told about the Legends Gamer, and that actually had the two pinball buttons on the side of the device, and I'll put that up on screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about here if you haven't seen that already. But we are officially going to be getting in the Q4 of 2020 an AtGames Legends Pinball Machine. Now in terms of retail price, it has been set at $599.99 US, which is incredibly reasonable given the rest of the information that we've got here. In terms of its assembled dimensions, we are looking at 67 inches tall by 38 inches deep and 23 inches wide. So we've got a 2-foot wide device, and it's actually going to be a fairly decent sized machine. Obviously it is not 100% full size, but when we are dealing with these types of cabinets, not a lot of people have space for full-size machines, and I think the size that this is coming in is very, very reasonable. Now in terms of the actual screen display that we're getting, we don't have a ton of information. We're looking at a 32-inch LCD monitor, and my assumption is that it's going to be very similar to what we saw on the Legends Ultimate, where it will be a 1080p 60 FPS screen, which should be more than sufficient for the type of games that we're going to be running on this pinball machine. Additionally, they have let us know that the main screen cover that's going to be overlaid on top of the LCD monitor is going to be made of glass and not some sort of like plexi or fiberglass material. I do like that, but that will mean that it's going to be a lot more fragile, so you'll need to be a little bit more careful. No leaving beer bottles on top of this thing, guys. Now another cool feature that they are talking about here is including a secondary screen, and this is not going to be a dot matrix, which would have been ideal, but instead they are going to be going with a 14-inch color LCD. Now obviously a dot matrix would be rather difficult for them to do. It would be substantially more expensive than a 14-inch LCD, so I totally get what they're doing, especially keeping this under a $600 price point. We can't have all the luxuries we want out of a pinball cabinet, but a 14-inch color LCD is pretty darn good, and I definitely think that that's going to make it look sharp. Now some of the other features that we're going to go ahead and take a peek at, it'll be very similar to what we've seen from other AtGames products. We've got Wi-Fi enabled, it's going to have an Ethernet port so you can connect in for low latency, and obviously that's going to be good for a few different things, because aside from firmware updates and things like that, AtGames has really started to put together an online integrated community, and I've got no doubt they have big plans for pinball as well. Now it does have USB ports, and it will have BYOG, which is a fantastic feature, and that is something that people are going to be able to create their own game files and load it up so that way you can play your own tables on this thing. So at this point, it's not even going to really matter how many games are going to come preloaded with it. Now, knowing AtGames, they are going to include a fair number of games, but the idea here is that even if you're not a huge fan of the tables that they've included, you've got the ability to bring your own games to the device. So there is another feature here which I'm not 100% sure what it's going to entail, but it's called Online Share Screen Party Play. Obviously it's something online, obviously it has something to do with a community or friends or sharing screens or things like that, but I'm curious to know more about this, and when more information does come out about the cabinet, I'll certainly be letting you guys know in a future video. One of the biggest features here that I'm a big sucker for is the physical plunger. I know that some people may think it's not really that big of a deal. I know Arcade1Up is not actually using a physical plunger. They've replaced that with a push button, and that's totally cool, but I do like that nostalgic feeling of being able to pull that plunger back, releasing it, and seeing the ball shoot out. I definitely like that they're including this. It's just a small little feature, but I think the community and the market at large is going to appreciate those kind of details. Now it does say it has adjustable legs, that's going to be good. So if you are somebody tall, and I'm not overly tall, but I am 6 feet, so some of these smaller cabinets tend to be a little bit of a back sore. I'm not quite sure how high these will be adjustable, but I think what they're trying to do here is make this a very comfortable device regardless of your height. And the last thing that they're talking about here is live streaming. Now, live streaming is available on the Legends Ultimate, and you can currently push your content up to YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, and it's actually quite simple. You just got to have everything set up in terms of the back end, but once you are, you can go ahead and just start streaming right away from the device. And I think that's actually going to be pretty cool. But as I mentioned with live streaming on the Legends Ultimate, it's going to be important for them to somehow integrate additional features, whether that be the ability to plug in a webcam and microphone, or even just a Bluetooth headset so you can actually talk while you're streaming. Now, we don't have a ton of other information. We've got no images to go off of. We've got no renders. We have nothing else, no game list, nothing along those lines. And this is a great list of features to let us know what's coming, but there's a few things that I haven't seen on here that nobody's really talked about, and that's going to be the haptic feedback. I'm very curious to see if they're going to implement a form of haptic feedback on the paddle buttons, because that's actually going to improve gameplay quite a bit, and I think that's something they should really consider putting in here. And that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about for this video. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of this. When we are looking at a retail price of under $600, this will be very comparable to the Arcade 1-Up devices, but it looks like they're going after the same market that they did with the Legends Ultimate. Are you guys going to try to pick one of these things up? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please consider subscribing to the channel, give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon.